What's up guys, and welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Today I'm bringing in a new type of video. I'm going to be going over all of the bass gear I carry in this bag. Every time I go fishing on this channel for bass, this is the bag I have. And I'm just going to be opening it up, show you everything I have, what I use it for, what conditions I use everything for. And I might even throw in what kind of setups I'm throwing everything on. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over all of like the superficial and like tiny pockets on this bag. So the first thing I have is this Gearaid fixed blade. It's basically just got a serrated edge, flat edge, or like a pry edge, and then just this line cutter. I just like to have it because it's a cheap blade. If I lose it, it's not the end of the world, and it's just nice to have like a sturdy big piece of stainless steel just in case you ever need it. Then right here in this little sheath, I have the KastKing pliers. These ones are really nice because they have the line cutter. They have just really nice pliers. They also have the attachment at the end so you can get into those split rings if you ever need to change your hooks out. Really nice, and they come with this bungee, so if I ever drop them, they won't fall off my bag. So I keep those in this little sheath. You can also keep on your belt. And then in this pocket right here, there's nothing in it right now, but this is where I usually keep my sunglasses because it has this velvet cloth just to make sure it doesn't scratch. And then in this pocket right here, I have a couple things. I have the KastKing scissors. They came with the pliers. They're really sharp. They're really good at cutting braid. I also have some Salt Strong scissors, just in case I lose those ones. And then I have some 25-pound Tesolito. This is just in case I ever go to a pond that might have some snook. And then lastly, I also have some just big sulker hooks. If I ever decide to use live bait, those are the sulker hooks I like to have. And then as I move on to this big old pocket right here, I just have a couple minor things just kind of thrown around in there. I have these. These are the 3.5-inch 6-cents panoramas. These are pretty good. I haven't done a review on them on the channel yet. They're really realistic. The only thing is they're really soft. I'll actually show you guys what these look like. When the bass all feeding on shad, especially in the spring, maybe early fall, I was catching a good amount of fish on these. That's what they look like. As you can see, they're very realistic. They have a nice spot. But I have that in there. I also have this MTV. If you haven't seen the mystery tackle box video, it is on my channel. I still have this in there. Just has all those baits just mixed around in there. If you want to see what was inside, you can go watch that video. I also have a scale. And this scale also has the tape measure on the side. And then I also have another thing, a 25-pound test. Probably because I forgot it was in here and added the yellow spool. And then just some random soft plastic from the MTB. These are the, what are these? The 10,000 fish saw crawl. They're a good trailer. I don't love black and blue. I never have, but they're pretty good. And then this is just my micro fishing kit. It's basically just a fishing kit with a bunch of micro lures, like little grubs, little spinners, little hooks. So if I ever get lazy or I'm not catching bass, I can always catch a bluegill. But that's the main stuff I have in this pocket and this pocket. But I also have a lot more stuff obviously in the main pocket that I'll get into, a lot of different tackle boxes. And a couple things to note is on the sides of this bag, you have a rod holder. You can stick a rod in there, and there'll also one on this side. I usually like to keep my rods on this side and then my tripod on this side just for filming. And then also on the bottom, you have these rubber pieces, which is helpful because if you ever throw this like in the back of a truck, it won't like slide around. Okay, so that's basically all I have in these main pockets, but now I'm going to go into the main tackle box pocket just so you can see what I have in my tackle boxes I always carry around. Okay, so as you can see, once you unzip this whole thing opens up, and I have 4 tackle boxes all stacked up, and this Velcro makes sure they don't like slide around. And basically I'm just going to go through each of them so you know what I'm carrying. Okay, so this is the first tackle box I have in my tackle bag. It's usually on top because it's the one I use the most. So it has these clips. It is the Plano waterproof tackle box. I really like them because, at least for the lures I'm using, they're not too heavy that they will float if you drop them. And it's really great if you drop it in salt water, it will just float so your lures don't get rusted. But yeah, these clip on to clamp it shut. But just some of the things I have inside, I just got some standard crankbaits. Different sizes. We got these lighter ones and then these bigger ones. Also, I usually like to keep like a green one and a blue one of most of the lures I have, if I can. So right here we have the 13 Fishing Navigator. This is probably my favorite bass topwater lure of all time. I don't know, I just bought it randomly, and ever since I fished with it, I probably caught 100+ fish on it. Even just like on random times, like winter months, I'll just fish it when the bass aren't even biting soft plastics, and they'll just bite this for some reason. I don't know why, but I love that lure. I also have the X-Rap jerk bait. This one's really great just for the bass in my area. The light blue and the green just work really well to mimic the minnows in my ponds. I also just got some rattle traps. So we have the Magic Man from the 13 Fishing, dark green, and then I like to contrast that with having this bright silver and blue original rattle trap. And then I also just have like some various other things like Lucky Craft rattle trap, another crankbait, and then just this little husky jerk bait. This one's also really good. I just got it like Walmart, but I like how it's bright compared to my other one, just in case they're not biting my other one. And it's small, so you can catch some of those smaller bass if you're having a tough day. But this is my first tackle box of 4, and now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so the next tackle box, which is this one, same type of tackle box. This is the one, but usually it's the stuff I throw in my bait cast store, some of the heavier stuff. And you'll see when I open it. So we have this white jig. This is from Dory Bass Jigs. I bought it at Dick's Sporting Goods. And then just I believe this is the Strike King Rage Craw, or Rage Tail, as a trailer. I like that jig. There used to be a green one right here, but I snagged it on the pipe the other day, so there will be one eventually. And then I just have, this is, I believe, a KVD spinnerbait. I believe it's the 3/8 ounce. I just like the spinnerbait. It's big, it goes through coverage well, and it just covers a lot of the area, especially if you haven't fished this pond that you're fishing. It is great just to cover some water. So I have more of those Rage Tails right here, just in case I need more. And then I also have these because if the bass are a little bit more active and you want to fish your jig a little bit faster, you can use these. I believe these are the Guggen Saucy Swimmers. They're just these 3-inch. There's a lot of brands that make very similar ones. I just did white to match the jig. But they're great. You can just swim around. Also, if you want to fish a chatterbait, great trailer right here. And then right here we have the Jackall Kaela Frog. It is probably my favorite tiny frog. It is great. Just small presentation. Gets those bass to bite, especially if they're a little bit more scaled. And it really does walk really well for how small it is. And then right here, I have a jig. This is a football jig. I'm not quite sure on the brand. And then it just has a green trailer. And then right here I have these green trailers. I have no idea what brand makes these because I bought them at some bargain outlet years ago. But I actually really do like them because they have an air pocket inside that makes them float when they're like bouncing along the bottom. But yeah, this is basically like if I'm using a bait castle, these are the lures I'm going to be using. It's all my heavier stuff. Now I'm going to move on to my next tackle box. And actually, I'm going to make a quick addition while I have this tackle box open. This is the green bluegill. This is the shad Jackall Kaela. This is the bluegill color. I'm just going to add that in real quick. Just because, like I said, I like to have 2 contrasting colors because maybe if they're not biting the blue, they might want to bite the green. So I just like having those bright contrast. Same thing with the white and the green. But now we're going to move on to the next tackle box. Okay, and this is my last tackle box. Last but certainly not least, it's probably one of my most expensive ones because inside we just have a bunch of different swim baits and glide baits. You might be wondering, why does he have a tackle box full of swim baits and glide baits? Well, I like them. They look cool. That's probably the whole point of the marketing thing. They look like fish, so the fisherman's going to buy it. But I also just like fishing with it, like getting a bite on just one of these realistic looking glide baits, like one of these big glide baits is just an awesome feeling. So I'm just going to run through. So following the same theme, I have the light blue shad, baby bull shad, and then I have the dark green one, because you never know, they might just be chasing one color more than the other. And then I have these are 2, I'm not sure of the name, but these are 13 Fishing, they're jointed glide baits. They're really good. You can just board them on top of the bottle, they'll swing back and forth, and I really like how the feather sits below the surface. I have this one, and then have this one with the black tail. And then lastly, I have this very large glide bait. I believe it is 1/2 ounce. It might be 3/4 ounce. It's a really heavy glide bait. I love fishing this on my heavy setup. It has really good action. It's actually homemade by someone off of eBay. I bought it from them. It was only around like $20, and they obviously don't make the lure, but they actually do hand paint this. But yeah, so that is my last main bass tackle box in my bag. It just has some swim baits and a massive glide bait. And then usually in that last little space, because that bag is actually meant to hold full tackle boxes, it comes with these big Cast King tackle boxes. I just like the plainer ones because they're a little bit higher quality. But instead of carrying 4, I usually carry the 3 I showed you. And then on top of those, I'll throw in some soft plastics, just in that bottom compartment because it keeps everything else from getting like greasy. So I have these RoboWorms. I love RoboWorms. I know they're popular up north, but they work really well down here in Florida. Just like pretty much any soft plastic, the Guggen Slim Shake worm is going to work, the Senko is going to work, all of those, the Zoom Trick worm is going to work. Just pretty much all year round here in Florida. And then I might even throw in just like a tackle box like this on top, because if I know I'm going to be fishing with some soft plastics, I like to have one of these. This is just my little terminal tackle box. I have some Ned rig hooks, some regular worm hooks, some weights, some Racky rig hooks, some lead bullet weights, and then this, if you guys don't use these, you're missing out. These are these glass beads, and what you do is when you put a worm on, you put the weight, and then you put the glass bead, then you put a hook, and every time you jig the worm, this and the glass bead actually tick together to make a little noise to attract fish. I've always fished that, it's always worked for me. But that is the end of what I usually carry, and we're going to head to the outro. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you want to see next time and what you carry in your bass bag. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Paddle Outdoors.